Word up, Internet. It's pizza time. Tonight on our show, we're going to be talking about PharmaBro.
Yeah.
PharmaBro and his just desserts. Also, it's probably some Trump stuff. And finally, 7-Eleven launches a new customizable tater tots menu. A buffet where you can take any tater tot and put anything you like on it. But is that technically ravioli? All this and probably more on Content Pending. The show.
I had heard that before.
Word up, Internet. This is Travis. Hi, everyone. I'm Travis.
I'm Dylan.
We are the hosts of Content Pending, the show. Podcast that takes place in Austin, Texas at the fabulous Don's Depot. And it's this is our second episode. We're still trying to figure out exactly what this whole format's going to feel like. Some of it feels a little bit more stuffy, like I'm wearing a shirt collar that's too tight. But it's for the kids.
You're wearing a Piggly Wiggly shirt.
I'm wearing a Piggly Wiggly. No, of course. It's also very tight around my neck.
Like a noose.
Like a noose. Just like Piggly Wiggly is.
Okay.
It tracks. It's just...
Oh, no, I like it.
It's unique.
Like it.
Yeah, this show likes to look at the things that have happened over the week and talk about the politics, entertainment, the Oscars, for example. We're going to be talking... I mean, because I didn't really watch the Oscars, but I'm sure you can go on...
I have things to say.
You have things to say, yeah. I'm excited about a couple of things I did see about that, but we can talk about that later on the show. We usually like to do this with interesting people, but it's just the two most interesting people in the entire world, me and Dylan.
It's all that really matters.
Yeah, it's all that really matters. A little bit about me. I'm a tech professional, anime-ish person. One of the party nerds, I guess I'd probably say. Does that work? Party nerd?
I think that tracks, yeah.
I want to be king nerd someday, but the paperwork keeps getting lost.
Yeah. And let's be honest. Stupid Talking Dead guy has the... he stole the crown.
Yeah, Chris Hardwick. My arch nemesis.
His self-proclaimed king of internet status. His self-proclaimed.
Yeah.
He needs to be taken down a couple of notches.
Yeah, I think so, but I don't know, man. I'm just kill him. It's a good idea. Dylan, tell us about you.
I'm movie, TV guy. By day, a photo industry professional.
Yeah.
So what else? I like musics. I'm a media junkie. I consume way too much media.
I used to be pretty bad about that with games, and I don't do that really as much. I do know a lot about that universe, but don't really play.
But I mean, like I constantly am reading internets and watching newses and it's symptomatic of the Trump presidency, honestly.
Of course. It's also a spoiler for people who don't know us very well or never listened to our other show, Drunkcast Live, as this is the evolution of that show. You need to know at least that we're both liberals. If that turns you off, that's fine. Go ahead. Go fucking watch something else or listen to something else.
Well, actually, as we've always said, if you disagree with us, we'd like to hear from you.
Yeah, 802.
Honestly, we would.
359-7468, 802-359-SHOT. That is a number where you can call or text. If you disagree with anything, if you just want to pause the show right now indefinitely and then just like tirade at us.
And speaking of shots, we have some right here.
We have some shots in front of us.
No, we're both definitely, I guess, more left-leaning. Let's put it that way.
Left-leaning for sure, yeah.
But we're both always open for interesting conversations. In fact, one thing I give Travis all the credit in the world for, of all the people I've ever known, might be the most capable of being at a bar with drunk people saying outlandish, crazy shit you disagree with. And you go, oh, that's really great. I want to hear more about that.
Well, I like to collect them, I'm also not a conspiracy theorist or conspiracy theory person, but I am a connoisseur of conspiracy theory.
A theorite.
A theorite, yeah. An aviarist, if you will. And that's something that, if I hear... And I've said this a bunch of times if you know me. I did not hit her. Oh, hi, Mark. I've said this before. One of the things that the reasons why I focus so much on people's craziness is that sometimes someone says something so stupid that I think I'm the one who's stupid. you know that those people in your life, they'll just say something completely nutso, and you look at them and say, "There's no way I heard that right," even if it was something fucking super simple.
Yeah, I have one of those uncles too.
Yeah. Probably right after he found out you were left-leaning, God, Uncle Ed. Jesus. horses just they don't work very well on Thanksgiving. Not enough peanut butter. Anyway, so keep that in mind as we're going to be talking about politics and things that happen. And we when something like the Oscars shows up, we'd like to talk about the Oscars.
Yeah.
And movies come out, like Jessica Jones came out, and I'm excited to talk about what I've seen so far. You said you finished it already?
Almost. I'm like episode 8 or something.
Okay.
So I'm almost there.
So we cover that a little bit later too, but we're running through all those things, and we'd like to talk about everything that's fun. But again, the Trump thing just keeps coming back, and it's something that keeps me from being able to enjoy podcasts myself or listen to audiobooks. Like, I still have an Audible account. I'm still getting those free tokens every single fucking month.
But you can't.
But I can't use any of them because as soon as I download an audio thing, I'm like, oh man, I'd like to check out this book. Let's listen to it on the way to my computer, whatever. Like 15 seconds in, I'm like, Trump did something. I got to go back to NPR. Like every single fucking time. I just can't. I can't get away from it.
Well, the one thing on that front that I'm actually encouraged by right now is, again, as media junkie, is enough pieces are starting to not pieces. Let me rephrase that. Enough fossils are starting to become uncovered that have nothing to do with left or right.
Yes.
They're like right or wrong in a legal sense.
Right.
Which makes it a whole lot, I think, more palatable to listen to some of the news these days because
it's starting to make sense in a bad way.
Yes. Now, of course, the downside is people who are left leaning will go, "Yay, finally we got him," and the people on the right go, "No, it's still fake news." Like, no, this isn't about left or right. Like, there are rules that have apparently been broken.
Yes.
And there's national security issues about having people reading classified material without clearance. Like, these are not left or right issues, and I'm happy we've finally got to a point where that is part of the conversation.
Yes,
it makes it easier to talk about.
Yes, and it makes you feel not so crazy.
It also makes me personally feel a little less tribal. If you will.
Okay. Yeah.
There's the Tiger Mom did a book about tribal things and saying that basically, the reason people behave so left or right is because it's easier for people to identify as I'm this, you're not, you're wrong.
Yeah.
But when it comes to stuff like there's a law on the books that says this is not acceptable.
Do not do this. Do not do this thing here.
And we're finally starting to get
this thing.
We're finally starting to get to some of those places. So I think I'm hoping that will make some things a little bit easier to deal with, and I won't drink myself to sleep every night.
Sure.
Just like 3 nights a week.
And it's something that popped up here recently. Ex-Trump aide Sam Nunberg, whatever.
Nunberg.
9 hours ago, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Said he believes that Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation is warranted. And said specifically, no, I don't think it's a witch hunt. It's warranted because there's a lot there, and that's the sad truth. And essentially, that's what we want. I mean, we don't want it to be sad.
And Nunberg had a breakdown earlier this past week.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't he on basically everything?
Yeah, so Tuesday or Wednesday this past week. So he got subpoenaed. Mm-hmm. So he testified.
Well, didn't he rip the subpoena up?
No.
I thought he ripped it in half, or said he wasn't going to show up.
He did. Okay, he did say he wasn't going to show up. I don't think he actually ripped it in half. But
okay,
it was fascinating watching it. I ended up
thanks other 99%. Jesus
because
Christ.
I'm a media junkie. I ended up watching him on 4 or 5 different cable shows.
Right.
And there's a couple I actually like watching.
Were they in order? Like, was he running from studio to studio like an episode of The State?
Yes, he literally did that.
Cool. Yeah, the Ryan Seacrest of douchebags.
He'd appeared before Mueller's team a couple 2 months ago or so, and not a subpoena. It was just hey, I have questions. I'm answering. He did a quick tour of the shows, going, Mueller's guys are professional. They're asking questions. They, in his case, they're asking things that tell me that they already know the answers to the questions. They just need me to confirm a few things.
Right.
But they were professional, and it's not a witch hunt. Then, this past Tuesday or so, he got services with a subpoena to go before the grand jury to actually solidify that testimony.
Right.
Which can mean a lot of things. Probably more than anything else, just means the things you told us in that meeting that you agreed to was pleasant. You need to have on record for the grand jury. That's the most likely scenario.
Right.
Because once it's in the grand jury record, it's a whole different level of validity to the story.
Right.
But so he actually got subpoenaed, and on the list of things, there are 9 names of we want information and communications that you've had with. Trump was named in that subpoena, and a bunch of other people. Mm. And one guy, Roger Stone, is his mentor, and he flipped out I'm not gonna talk trash about the guy who's basically my dad. And that was his story for the whole day. So he went on every cable news channel, really, running studio to studio, between 11 a.m. and 9 or 10 at night, East Coast time. No, later than that. Every show, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. The show, I think my favorite show on cable news is The Beat with Ari Melber.
Okay.
Because he's a lawyer.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
So he
That's why you pointed at me so fervently.
Yes. Well, he's a lawyer, so whenever he talks about meat, whenever he's what I love watching him. Even though it is MSNBC, he'll be the first guy to get people who have opposing views on. And whenever people have arguments, he always goes, "Hold on." You see his attorney brain go, "Let's break this down."
Right.
You're saying this.
Right.
I have news reports that say this. Where are we not meeting the middle here? What's going on?
Right.
And I love the way he does that with people. And so he had Nunberg on. Nunberg was basically going crazy. It was him and this other like former prosecutor who were like, okay, when you get a grand jury subpoena, you can't just not go, dude. You will go to prison.
Right.
And they like for an hour, they're like, you see them talking him down off the wall.
Yeah.
And it was fascinating to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then he did a show later on that evening where he, one of the commentators, I think maybe just for clickbait, was asking him if he was drunk. It's, I smell alcohol in your breath. I think that was a little bit staged.
Sure.
So like he goes the whole day going, I'm not gonna do it, not gonna do it, not gonna do it, and then he like the next day, okay, maybe I should. Then he finally
does. Yeah.
turn it. But it was funny because like my boy Ari and, Maya Wiley was the name of the prosecutor.
Yep.
They're like, well, one thing actually that Ari Melber is really like, okay, Sam, are you okay? Like, I'm worried about you because I had you on my show 2 months ago, and you're a different mindset.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're prone to hyperbole, you're prone to this, but are you okay? And it was really interesting watching it. And I think maybe a bigger viewpoint of how this all kind of broke down. Why I was fascinated with it. Here's a dude who was put in a weird spot. Grand jury subpoena, being forced to testify.
Sure.
He kept making the points of like, he had to put up a lot of money for attorney fees, which is valid.
Fair.
And then the possibility, I guess, of him having to say trash or expose someone who was a mentor to him for many, many years. That's going to get to you. And then just kind of going, holy shit, what's happening to my life? I have to do what's going on. So there really was a human element to watching that made sense, and I thought it was fascinating just to watch him unravel, then kind of be pulled back, and then apparently do the right thing. And as you mentioned now, he actually did finally say, yeah, there's not a witch hunt. They're doing their thing, and it's good. So, again, as a media junkie, crazy fucking week. And totally fascinating to watch.
Yeah, and the last thing for that specifically, considering all of this, you see the thing where Trump's lawyer said that he would be, they'd allow him to have an interview with Mueller, or Mailer, whatever, as long as they stop the investigation afterwards.
Within 60 days, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of handshake is that? I mean, that's really just like a, cross your fingers behind your back, like, oh yeah, I promise.
Yeah, they were trying to say, if you end the investigation within the next 2 months, we'll do a thing. And
no, cash in the barrel head, motherfucker.
Yeah, then basically everyone I heard on the radio today was like, yeah, no prosecutor in the right mind would get evidence on day 59 and go, well, we're stopping tomorrow, so I can't take
this. Oh, God. Oh, my God, yeah. We found the proof right here.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. Let's come back for more show after this. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Yeah.
Content Pending, the show with Travis and Dylan.
I'll try not to nerd out anymore about cable news.
Sure. I know it gets
Sorry, I told you, junkie.
It gets you in a lather. A lather.
It's fascinating stuff, man. Well, it can be. It can be fascinating.
So you'll probably hear some people go by and these crazy, I don't even want to talk about it anymore, pub crawler things.
Yeah, but it's South by pub crawlers. So
South by pub crawlers. So
extra
it's
special.
Extra loud. We'll count them as they go. Yeah, so South by 2018. It's still fucking nuts.
It's now officially a 2.5 week long event.
Yeah.
They're not even faking it anymore.
We're doing our own show here. I don't know by the time you listen to this, if you live in the Austin area, you want to go to Don's Depot on Saturday, March 17th.
St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day from 1 to 5. We're doing a DJ and live comedy showcase with some of the best people in town.
That's
and we're
right.
excited about doing that for sure.
South by St. Patty's Day.
South by St. Yeah. It's nice.
I like
it.
it.
It rings, It claps, I think is what the kids say.
But yeah, we have some of the best local talent you're ever going to find. I'm so excited for the lineup. Oh,
Yeah.
great lineup.
Me too. And I'm really excited about seeing Josh up there because it makes him so happy to do his
DJ Yoshi
Fuerte.
Man, honestly, he's
great.
You have to come. He really is an amazing DJ. I love his work because he does really unusual things. Like a lot of DJs will kind of go to I'm an EDM guy and they'll just play boots and pants, but he does really funky mixes. Where he'll pull a song like from the 70s, and then throw Britney Spears in there and make it something original, and you go, holy fuck, that's really fucking amazing.
That's my favorite kind of artist, honestly.
He's really good.
It's like, especially for a DJ to be that improvisational, you know? I mean, he's a mashup artist. Oh, DJ Yoshi Fuerte, I think is his DJ name. His mashup name is something else. He has a couple of different artist names.
DJ Leg Day is one of his.
Leg Day is one of my favorites. I'm not sure which one of those. It might be his house guy or whatever, but Yoshi Fuerte is the one that's like usually more public or whatever. And I just always loved. I love performers that can pick up and do something like that.
Yeah, you know his mixes are tight.
Yeah.
If that's still a thing you can say, I'm old.
Well, you can say it anytime.
On
you want.
fleek.
It's real chains.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. It's boy-ish.
and no air horns. No air horns.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Unless you want, though.
See, there's no rules.
But I'm sure he would find a way to make it work with, like, disco.
Yeah. Yeah. Technically, they work with everything, so I'm not gonna fight. I mean, I have a little soundboard here of stuff, so I can't argue with people who use air horns.
I'm just waiting about 5 more years where air horns will no longer be registered in my hearing range anymore. I'm almost there. Mm-hmm. No, that really happened. Like just a couple weeks ago, you guys were saying that you heard a thing, like a hum through our mixing board. I'm like, I don't hear it.
Yeah, wrong frequency.
Yeah, I'm too old for that shit.
Yeah. That's something. Okay, that's something to look forward to.
No air horns. Yes. So South by is here.
Yeah,
South by. South by is going.
South by. You know,
it's grown into a behemoth.
Yeah.
It's now officially a 2-week-long event.
Mm-hmm.
And they've officially made comedy a part of their event. And gaming is now a pseudo-official as well.
Oh, is it? Okay, that's actually that's smart.
They just added that this year, I think.
The gaming community, especially the competitive gaming community, is growing so fucking fast.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've shown pictures to you. I don't know, dear listener, if you'd like to go check it out, but just go do a Google search for, like, Korea competitive game competitions. Like, it's nuts. It's super, super fucking nuts.
There's a couple in Vegas. We've had one or two in Austin every year, right?
Yeah, DreamHack. I guess is permanently going to be coming to Austin.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And that's like it's Counter-Strike and Dota 2, some other like MOBAs or whatever, but basically games that are really, really, really incredibly competitive. And you'll see other countries just do it so fucking hard that they'll have these arenas with like Thunderdome style thing of just like, why? You know, huge TVs and there's like hosts and it's like a professional sporting event. And at the very middle of this crazy little tiny stage with all these thousands of people, there's just like 6 geeks, you know, and that's neat because it's also led into college diploma or not diplomas, college funding, like scholarships. Yeah, thank you. You can get scholarships and and I mean the money used to be so paltry, but like the world champion, the gaming series, champion gaming series, and this is 2008, was $500,000.
And that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago.
So now it's probably at least $1 million.
That's easily a multi-million dollar, if not more, industry.
So finally, competitive gaming has reached the level of funding as competitive eating.
Yes. Oh no. Yes. Yes. It's getting closer and closer to actually being like sports money, which is nuts.
X Games,
yeah. And it's smart. Honestly, because it's there. I mean, yeah, we can poo-poo on the fact that they're actually not doing anything or whatever, but it is a mental sport, if anything else, and the actual physical twitching is not. It's not. There's not a lot of just clicking and waiting. It's just like a lot of fucking attention to everything, especially MOBAs. I don't know if you've ever heard that term before.
I'm not familiar with it.
A MOBA is a multiplayer online battle arena.
Okay.
And they're usually RPG-ish in a way. And what they'll do is essentially you'll have, if I can explain this as well, you have these tracks. You have one team versus another that have a series of players that characters that they use, and their goal basically is to get from point A to point B through just another group of people trying to stop them from doing it. And it's really kind of amazing It's amazing to watch if you don't know any of it because people will just lose their shit over something so minuscule that apparently is like game-changing stuff. And even a guy who like pays attention to it, like it stresses me the fuck out. I'm walking to the Dota area at like a DreamHack or whatever, and I'm just like stressed. Counter-Strike's easy. There's like 6 or 5 people per team. I can't even remember. And the goal is to either shoot the other people in the face before they shoot you in the face, or disarm a bomb, or hostages. You know, it's simple. It's like you can see a guy do a thing, and you can see him get shot, and go, "Oh crap, man, that guy definitely got shot." With MOBAs, it's just like, okay, he picked up that gem. I don't fucking know. You know, it's nuts. And there's a lot of like really, really, really fine tune. I can't remember what the actual term is, but each of the games start the characters over from scratch. Like so, they have they have their own thing. And as they're doing stuff, everyone has a resource pool that they're using for their own upgrades and upgrading the team and doing things. But like it's in a separate menu, so you're actually doing all this shit. You're attacking a character and then also doing all this like basically like it's like you're getting into a fist fight with a guy with a knife, and you're also trying to balance your checkbook. It's amazing, and I have a lot of respect for it.
No, that actually does sound.
They're no fun to play, but I respect it.
It sounds challenging as hell, and which I respect, even though. Yeah. For those who have known me from previous shows, know me from this show, I am not a gamer.
Yeah.
But I do respect
South Park.
Yes. I still haven't touched it again.
Right.
I got bored with Classy. I haven't touched it. I know there's a lot more story and a lot more game after that, but like this is dumb. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that game, you know, it's lane building. So assume that every single game you play of South Park, the whole fracture but whole, takes place in that entire room, and it's always someone on one side and the other trying to fight.
Oh no, I would not play that. I would not enjoy that.
It's stressful.
At all. I would definitely not enjoy that.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, you were there for the town of South Park. You know,
that's true.
Yeah,
and I love that actually. I love just exploring that. Yeah. I just wish there were cheat codes. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate they built in anti-cheat code stuff. It's like that fucks with you if you try.
Yep.
But I just really want to not play the game, just follow the adventure.
Just stumbled upon this. The Republic of Korea, North Korea, or excuse me, South Korea. Excuse me. It's the highest earnings by country when it came to pro gamers.
Really?
Korea is at 17 million with 833 players. United States is 11 million with 1,574 players. Sweden is third with 6 million, and then it's 5 and 2, China and Germany, respectively.
Sweden?
Yeah.
That's kind of a surprise.
Sweden? Man, those guys are... Sweden and Germany will always give you the hardest time, especially with first-person shooters.
Oh, and also because in Sweden, it's completely associated with the word I'm looking for.
Socio-economic, no.
Socialist country.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
So, yeah, you can actually qualify for gaming as a job and be paid for it by the government.
Sure.
And you get free healthcare and education. So,
like, I love my mom, but also looking at this stuff, I keep thinking, like, why did you guys try to convince me not to play video games the rest of my life? You said specifically I wasn't going to make any money off of it. And I could be hosting one of these.
1,500 people in America do, apparently.
I do. You know what I'd really like to do, and I've been trying to think of like how to do this correctly. It would require a lot of green screens. I want to see if it's possible to. Number one, I want to do a fake version of hosting like an esports thing. Like I want to be fake hosts, not knowing what the hell's going on and just making up as we can. But I also want to do it remotely with 3 different people in green screens, and then put them in a virtual like booth or whatever the fuck they call that. You know, where the sports guys are like the talking heads. Like, I want to see how we can do that because I think that would just be so much fun, especially because there's no way to not make that look crappy. And so it's going to look crappy, even if it's cardboard cutouts or whatever.
No, I can make it look good.
Okay. Let's figure that out because that'd be fun. $17.6 million, and this article came out in 2014.
So it's only gone up.
Yep.
That's cool.
It's nuts.
No, again, even though I'm not a gamer, I definitely appreciate the industry. I mean, obviously, shitload of money.
Yeah.
I wish they paid their developers more.
Yes.
Because there's a shitload of money, and not a lot of it's going to the actual guys writing the code.
Right. Here's something else to think about too. Like a lot of these games, especially the competitive games, there's going to be a lot of MOBAs. The MOBAs are like they're violent, I guess, in a way that you're like taking cartoons and running them down a lane and killing other cartoons. I guess they're killing each other, but they come back or whatever. Counter-Strike, as an example of an actual like realistic like violent game, would be used in the pro or the anti-gun community right now. in the conversation.
Trump
like,
did actually have a conversation with
Yeah, and he had a small committee of people who had never played video games, and almost like what the fuck is it called? It's the it's the rating board for video games specifically. So we have a buddy who used to work for a game company here in town. He also went to Seattle and was at a game company there as well. And I can't remember what the actual rating company's called, but the rating company would do a thing that was so fucking incredible that they would rate a game based on a VHS tape of the highlights of the game. They would not play the game to get the context of it. They would only watch a video of it. And so this committee that Trump had was literally just a bunch of people who had watched a best of supercut of video games. But here's the thing, and this is one of the hills that I'll die on. There is more research to say that violent video games do nothing to people.
Yes.
Than that they more than that they actually don't, or whatever. Man, my mouth.
We know where you're going.
Yeah, thank you. But let's look at this list again. Korea, South Korea, United States, Sweden, China, Germany. Which of those 5 that have violent video games that people are playing so much that they're making money, that some kid, because for DreamHack, we had a friend come into town, and his kiddo knew one of the Counter-Strike players and was looking at him with these doe eyes because it was a famous person he got to meet in real life. Ron Workman helped him out, like walked him over. Like he met these guys. These are like heroes to these people.
That's interesting.
Playing violent video games. Why is the United States the only one that has fucking shootings in schools? It has nothing to do with fucking violent video games.
No, it's because we have the guns.
Because we have the guns. South Korea, Sweden, China, Germany. It just doesn't fucking happen. And they have the same access to those. Fucking Australia has like same access. Although their games are like twice as much. But
and those countries don't have any guns.
Right.
It's pretty much the answer to that question.
You disagree with this? 802-359-7468. Please help me figure that out. The rest of the world has mentally unstable people.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have guns.
Violent video games.
And violent video games. And porn. I mean, Japan's not on this list. Maybe porn is keeping them from...
Oh, come on. And Germany has some nasty fucking porn.
Nasty fucking porn. Yeah, the German milk porn. Let's not talk about that. Until after this break. We'll come back. Bye. Welcome back to the show, buddy. This is our third segment with content pinning the show with Travis and Dylan. So we have a lot. Tell me about the Oscars.
I will.
I miss it pretty often.
They were long as balls.
Okay, go with that,
man. So I have a handful of things about the Oscars. Almost 4 hours, I think, long.
What?
Started at 7, ended like 10:45 or something. Yeah, it was like 11, almost 4 hours long.
That's fucking nuts.
And that's not counting the 9-hour pregame show, which I did not watch any of. Red carpet bullshit.
Right. I don't understand people who get anything out of that. Like, when I was younger, I was really, really obsessed with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
But I was never like interviews, anything that he was on randomly, commercials, like even his first movie. Oh crap! Can't believe I forgot that.
Duck Factory.
No. His very first Duck Factory was a TV show.
Once Bitten.
No, it was called. I'll look it up. But so there was a thing that one thing for some reason I just never ever got into seeing him on a red carpet. It was not interesting to me. Like as funny as he might be. Like, no, it's not funny. It's not interesting.
The only thing interesting about that apparently Ryan Seacrest was banned. Because I guess he had an assistant or something who he may or may not have done something to. So on the red carpet, like every celebrity was walking past him and not talking to him at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
But the Oscars themselves, 4 hours long.
Rubber Face. It's called
Rubber Face. Okay, yeah.
Awful.
They have their heads really far up their ass. Now granted, the Oscars are like the second most watched thing after Super Bowl. So I'm sorry, the big game.
Is that a copyright problem?
Yes.
Okay.
The big game.
Okay.
Actually, Retherby did a great bit on that one. So Oscars are highly watched. They are.
Yeah.
But they like this year in particular, they started kind of upping their commercial game to think like, well, the big game has 1 billion viewers. We have like almost 1 billion viewers. Let's really pump out the commercials.
Right.
There were like blocks of like 5-minute long commercial breaks.
Yeah.
There was one thing I made a joke with on Facebook. Like they actually had a thing. It was 3 short films about Walmart. where they actually had like Melissa McCarthy did one. A couple other people did. I'll be two other people did. They did short videos about like the Walmart delivery box and how it transforms your life in different ways. It's like, no, stop this. Just stop this. And they're long commercial breaks, like insanely long. Like honestly, of the 4 hours of actual event show, I'd be willing to bet at least 1.5 hours was commercial. Someone fact checked me on that one, but it was a lot. It felt like a lot.
802-359-7468.
Then, of course, the musical numbers. Stop doing that. There are hundreds of other musical award shows.
That's not for you, though. Come on, they're having a good time, or they're not. I don't know. I don't have a dog in
It
this
sucks
race.
the life out of the event.
Yeah.
And then there's about a handful of the Oscars they give out that probably belong with the technical Oscars they do like 3 months earlier.
Sure.
So just put them with that and just get to like the top 9 or 10. Like we want the best Oscar, best we want actress, supporting actress, actor.
Right.
We want the best movie, best director. That's pretty much all we want, really.
So let's say, okay, so surprisingly, best supporting actor and best actor went to the same person, right?
That is true. Sam Rockwell and
Gary
or
Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
Yeah, and or Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Call Me By Your Name, I don't really know anything about that one.
That's a Don Depot's regular Army Hammer.
But that's that's best film editing is what they won. No, I'm sorry. Best writing adapted screenplay.
Yeah.
I got over to Lee Smith for best film editing for Dunkirk, which really I don't know anything about Call Me By Your Name, but I would say like Dunkirk surely is better than that. I don't know.
Well, Call Me By My Name has the... you want to fight about this? 802...
359-7468, yeah.
It was the gay movie this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The gay coming of age story. So
yeah,
it was Oscar bait.
That's fine. So Shape of Water got Best Picture. Fantastic Woman got
Fish fucking movie. Yeah.
Some people call it Grinding Nemo.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like that one a lot. Fantastic Woman, Best Foreign Language Film, Gary Oldman, Sam Rockwell. Frances McDormand, Best Actress.
Yeah.
Alison Janney, Best Supporting Actress, and I, Tonya. And she's fucking amazing.
She is.
Have you seen I, Tonya yet?
I have not seen it.
Absolutely recommend
but
it.
I love her, and I'm sure she's worth it. So.
Coco got, cool. Coco got Best Original Song and Best Animated Feature Film. Yeah. And I absolutely 100%
You're a
agree with
huge
that.
Coco fan.
I fucking love the shit out of Coco. Like I said before, every time I can, it was like the first time I ever watched a Disney movie. That's what it felt like. But I thought Get Out was in this list somewhere.
Best Original Screenplay.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, and Jordan Peele, which is fucking great.
Jordan
Peele
he was nominated for that, for Best Director and Best Picture. I wouldn't
give it Best Picture. I feel like that's just jerking it off.
I have a couple of problems with some of the winners this year.
Right.
So Dunkirk, I haven't seen it, and I'm sure it's a fine movie. It's Christopher Nolan. He always does a good product.
Yeah.
But one thing I noticed this year, it seems that the Oscars have a serious boner for Christopher Nolan.
Oh yeah, it's an easy one. No one gets upset when he wins.
Yeah,
really.
But here's the two places that really ground my gears.
Sure.
It won both like best sound editing and sound design, which are different things, I think.
Best sound editing, best sound mixing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it won, and I think it won best editing. No, it didn't win best editing. The other one did. But so you and I both do stuff with sound all day long.
It's best film editing, best sound mixing, and best sound editing.
Yeah, so you and I both do stuff on our day jobs and for this podcast about editing audio, and it's not fucking hard to make a bullet noise. Fuck you. No, seriously, fuck you. And the reason I say that is because Baby Driver was in both those musical editing categories.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
a
the
bummer.
reason I say that is because that movie without the audio mixing doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Anyone can make a fucking bullet noise.
Right.
Or a plane go, we're crashing, rah.
Sure.
Don't give a shit.
Okay.
But Baby Driver, it only exists because of the audio.
Yeah, the audio was
because
basically...
the whole point is the character has this tinnitus. His world exists through music. Without the music, without that editing to the music, the movie doesn't exist.
Right.
So, as much as I love Christopher Nolan movies myself,
sure,
that's wrong. Baby Driver should have won.
Yeah.
Because I have
Baby Driver was a little controversial.
I have tinnitus.
Sure.
I haven't texted you when I first time I watched it.
Yeah.
Like they make tinnitus perfect. like it was so good how they kind of explained, that kind of constant humming. I found it annoying because I can tell, that's hitting the same frequency in my left ear. Like,
yeah.
But to do that, they had to mix that white noise into everything was happening. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very upset about that one because because Edgar Wright's always been about music anyway. He loves those cuts. Again, we've already seen people, storm a beach with gunfire everywhere. And I don't care if it's a Dolby Atmos and it's coming out of my head and you're flying ahead of me.
Sure.
Without the music, Baby Driver doesn't exist as a movie.
I don't disagree with that for sure. I feel like
that's my one pushback.
I feel like the music specifically in Baby Driver is another one of the actors in the movie.
Exactly,
is incredibly important, especially for the story they're telling. But also the kind of, I guess, the material that we work with on a daily basis when it comes to sound editing is not 4,000K or whatever.
Of course.
So I can see that, but also, like, I don't know who picks that. Who picks that?
Yeah.
Also, the worst thing about the Academy Awards specifically is that they're so much money goes into winning these awards, not just building the actual thing, but actually like going out and shopping for
shopping for the win.
Yeah, shopping for the win, and so it does drive me crazy. And like, I'm happy that anyone from I, Tonya got a thing. I don't think I, Tonya should necessarily be
Best Picture, Best Actress. Yeah,
but I can't remember. Like, I haven't seen Shape of Water, so I don't know. Most of what I've seen is people getting upset that Shape of Water was most likely going to win, and not liking it. They didn't like it as much.
Yeah.
But they also wanted Get Out, and I don't think Get Out was that strong of a movie. Fight me on this if you want.
I still haven't seen it.
802-359-7468. Honestly, like, it was good, and it was tense, and it had some really great points, but I don't think it was like, best original screenplay for sure.
Cool.
But not best picture. And I mean, that's
that might be in some of the. There's a very obvious. I'm going to use this word and again. I want some comments. Blacklash this year.
Sure.
There was.
Yeah.
This was, and I know there's a lot moving and shaking, changing in the industry.
Right.
It needs to change.
Right.
Hollywood's been way too white man for a long, long time.
Yeah.
No one disagrees with that.
Yeah. Not by force.
Natural evolution needs to happen.
Right.
There are more talented people out there
Right.
who are mixed, women, Latinos, Hispanics, everyone.
Right.
We need to get that pool more evenly balanced with what the world actually looks like.
Yes.
And it's happening. And this year, I guess last year there was a lot of uproar about it. It was a whitewashed Oscars. This year,
right.
I think that's why Get Out maybe have gotten a little bit more love.
Yeah, a little more traction.
Why Guillermo del Toro got 13 nominations for a movie that was probably pretty decent, but probably not that great.
Right.
My only other thing about the Oscars is Blade Runner 2049 won for, I think, Best Cinematography.
Best Cinematography, yeah.
But here's my thing. The reason it won for Best Cinematography was because the first one was so fucking good. It was retroactive. I'm not joking. I actually paid the $14.95 to buy Blade Runner 2049 the other day.
Okay.
And watching it, because I love Blade Runner, which I've argued on past shows, is technically not really a very good movie.
Right.
But visually is amazing. And you have to kind of go back to that whole... That was 1981, 82 was being made. Super amazing for the time.
Yeah.
And then 2049 is an absolute homage to just how good the first one was 30-something years ago.
Right.
I think that they won just kind of out of, oh yeah, shit, we missed it the first time. We need to recognize Blade Runner was really, really, really that good.
Oh, I understand that as well. I thought you were saying that because the new one was able to almost perfectly identify the original stylings and do it in such a good way that posthumously it should go to the original one because this is not a new idea.
That's exactly where I was going with that.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful.
Like the visual concepts, they nailed it in 1981.
Right.
We have better technology now, but there are some scenes that you couldn't tell if it was 81 or not. And that's just how good the first one was.
And that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. And actually, that guy, Deakins, I think is his last name. Escapes me. He has a pedigree that's superb for cinematography, and apparently he's been doing all of the best movies for like the past 40, 50 years. He deserved it. He'd never won before, and this was okay.
Yeah.
We got to give this to him because he nailed it and he's earned it.
Yeah. One more slip over, you know. Well, and thing that'll always drive me crazy about the Academy Awards specifically is when you get to the most important ones, Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress. I feel like, I feel the same way about, Sam Rockwell and Gary Oldman winning Darkest Hour and 3 Billboards, respectively. How annoying it is because it's just like I don't think that tier of award is important. It's important to look. It looks neat.
It can be.
It's good for the actor or the actress for sure, but I feel like at that point they're just like, they're not really trying hard by finding anything really interesting. It's just whatever we've seen already. So it's like Shape of Water, probably a fine movie. Is it the best movie that was released in 2017 out of all the movies they didn't see? Absolutely not. We'll never be able to know that for sure.
The answer to that question, from everything I've read, is the Florida Project.
Is the better movie?
Yeah, that was
the best movie.
The Willem Dafoe movie that he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, I think. It was like a super indie film that got Best Oscar nod.
And that's more important to me than anything else.
Yes, yeah, and that's again the shopping for Oscars thing. It's a whole different ballgame.
Hate that shopping. Let's take another break, and we'll come back and do a little toast, and maybe talk about Martin Shkreli. Be back. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Yeah.
I guess we need some shots. We'll get some shots as they come or whatever. But this is the last segment, so this is kind of everything else we didn't get a chance to talk about. Of course, if you've been following the life and time of Martin Shkreli,
PharmaBro. Was it 7 years?
So, they're calling him a fraudster. I don't know much about the fraudster thing. I know that a lot of that's actually kind of over-dramatized.
No, he basically was doing Ponzi scheme stuff.
He was doing Ponzi scheme?
Yeah.
Okay. So, initially what we knew about Martin Shkreli is that he was a guy who worked for a pharmaceutical company, and it raised the price of a drug, Daraprim.
HIV drug, yeah.
Yeah.
5,000%.
And he was really obnoxious about it. He would get on Instagram, he would get on Snapchat, he would get on Twitter, and he would just say, "Kind of look at me, motherfuckers. I'm rich. I don't care about what you're doing, and I'm making money doing these things."
Yep.
And we couldn't do anything about it. Then he bought the $2 million Wu-Tang album, which legally only he can listen to.
That's right. No, he can post it online for free. He just can't sell it or try to make any kind of money off it.
Right. So,
Or
7 years.
charge him.
7 years in prison. He was received for, I guess, this securities fraud related to two hedge funds he was
he was doing super Ponzi scheme style stuff with his hedge funds. Like people were,
of course,
giving millions of dollars, and like first investors would get something Ponzi scheme, like pay out top guys to make them think they're making investment money, riches, and
the funniest thing,
it was like a very the most obvious Ponzi scheme like the FEC has seen in years.
Yeah,
how bad it was.
So he's not.
That's why he got the 7 years.
That's why he got the 7 years because it was that bad.
Yeah.
Well, the most obnoxious thing about this whole thing is that again, because I do not subscribe to conspiracy theories, but I do subscribe to the threads in which they're formed. He was ordered to forfeit $7.4 million. And that aforementioned Wu-Tang album
as part of this $4 million.
So there's this gag going on with Ajit, the head of the FCC.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
There's this gag going on in the internet community because he used to play video games. Is that because he's such a weird, nerdy-looking Ross-like human? That the reason he wanted to be in control of the FCC is because he wanted to speed the internet down for everyone else so he can beat people at Counter-Strike or online video games. It's a meme. It tracks.
Having seen him in interviews?
Yeah.
Makes
his
sense.
big fucking Reese's mug or whatever. So this, the fact alone, like it almost like the other funny conspiracy trope or meme that the only reason Donald Trump has this job as president is because Obama looked at him and said he would never be president. And that's always that's one of my favorite memes of all time. Is that like you look at Donald Trump, we can make fun of him for being a dummy. You can do anything you like to when it comes to his personality, the way he looks, his Slavonish and whatever, like the fact that his wife obviously fucking hates him, everything about him. But someone told him he couldn't have a thing, and he went and got it. That's pretty fucking neat.
It's America.
It's America. So all of that only to say now, I feel like taking the Wu-Tang album away from him is just a shitty move. It's fine because he doesn't deserve it because he's an asshole about it and he's like whatever.
Oh, he's a total
dick. But like it just still feels like someone's like, you know what? Also, give me that album because Wu-Tang's the people,
Well, I think technically you and I are both Wu-Tang Clan members because they have so many.
Oh yeah, sure.
You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
I've heard you do rap, so I think technically that makes you're part of it.
I have to. I still haven't actually been to the torch and the Statue of Liberty, so I haven't been to the induction. Yeah, but I think technically one of us has to. So you were inducted.
Statistically, yeah. One of us must be part of the thing.
Right. One of us is a girl. One of us is an old man. Everyone's Wu-Tang. I think we've made that very canon at this point.
But no, I completely disagree. I think the opposite. I think because they can take the Wu-Tang Clan makes it, you know what? You did achieve your goal of everything. Yeah. And now, no, you may not.
It's poetically beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I just still feel like someone said, you know what? I'm going to go after him for this. And, of course, this is also completely fucking ignoring the idea that he fucked over these people with HIV. Mm-hmm. He fucked over all of the people. It wasn't until he fucked with capitalism that he finally got arrested for
Again, America.
Because America.
Yeah, he that point is worth really driving home. He did not get in trouble for raising drug prices to a point where people with HIV...
Because that's not illegal.
He got away with that. In fact, he got rich on that.
Yeah.
He got busted for fraud, and Ponzi scheme stuff.
He played the system, and instead of being a poor person playing the system to get a couple more dollars for their kid, he played the system and was able to buy the one-of-a-kind Wu-Tang album. And so, again, poetic justice. It's beautiful.
7 years.
7 years. That's it. 7 years. I mean...
He'll be out in 3.
He'll be out in 3 months. Well, no, when it comes to capitalism, excuse me. He'll probably be there the whole 7 years.
Actually, the judge was really not happy with him, so he's going to do some time before he gets parole.
Good.
That was one thing. Part of the PharmaBro, if you guys follow us at all, he was very, very smug, through everything.
Everything.
Even during
until this case, apparently.
Yeah, during this trial, he would. If you guys have ever seen it, he would go on YouTube and do live streaming YouTube videos for 4.5 hours and sitting and
just being cocky. Yeah.
He actually put a bounty on Hillary Clinton's hair.
Yes.
During the trial.
Oh, I forgot about that.
During the election.
Yeah, he wanted Hillary Clinton's DNA so we can prove that she was involved in some investigation materials that he had. Yeah. And he's like, we can compare the DNA, then it was definitely Benghazi. Blah, blah, blah.
And so that was like during the trial, during the election, he was doing all that. Then during the trial, apparently he had actually some of the courtroom sketches of him are fantastic.
Yeah,
because he the smuggest look on his face because he's like, I don't really know if I'm here. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
He had lawyers who were saying, no, dude, seriously, stop talking right now.
I see
while
that
the cameras are rolling.
Yeah. I'm gonna save that later for the art for this episode.
And then they made some really weird claims, and the judge was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. You're going to jail, buddy.
Yep.
So this guy deserves prison on every possible level.
Yep.
I just hope they give him what's the office space? Federal pound me in the ass.
Pound me in the ass prison. Yeah. No, probably not.
He'll be playing golf and making license plates tomorrow.
I guess they were looking for 15 years. Wow. What else happened this week that we want to talk about at all?
I don't know. That's a pretty good episode. We got a lot of stuff covered.
Jessica Jones is out, so go check out Jessica Jones. Yeah. Please, if you're in the Austin area for South by and listen to this, go ahead and come to our show.
That's right.
Don's Depot. It's from 1 to 5, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We love these people, and we're going to have a really good time, I think, with them.
Contentbending.com
Contentbending.com
SXSW.
Yep, that's the easiest way to go and get an RSVP.
RSVP, free beer.
If you RSVP, you get a free beer.
That's right.
Pretty simple. Pretty fucking simple.
It's Nathan Ehrman.
Yeah, Nathan Ehrman's super host. I like calling him super host because it does make a lot of sense because he's he is exactly what you need.
I dare you look at his face and go, Dab's not a sexy man.
Oh,
I dare you.
I know.
Dare you.
I know. Handsome as AF, as I say.
Avery Moore, Adam Rabick, Rob Gagnon.
Oh, I love Rob Gagnon so much. I mean, you know how much I fucking...
Jasmine Ellis, Carlton Wilcoxon. Did I get it right?
Yep.
I typed this like 1,000 times doing artwork. Devon Walker, Allison O'Connor, Ariel Norman.
Yes.
Is it everybody?
Yeah, it's everybody.
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
Yeah, you did it.
Ariel, man. Honestly, last year Ariel, my personal favorite, she crushed it. Her set was so fucking amazing.
She was the one. She was definitely the one people talked about.
So come on down. We got a great fucking show.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Also, I mean, if you're doing South by at all and you're able to listen to this somehow, go be safe and have fun, but go be safe first. You can find us more online if you like at contentpending.com for episodes. You can go to contentpending.com / again South by Southwest XSXSW for that show. You can go to facebook.com/contentpending, or I mean, we're going to figure that out. That's been hilarious.
It could still be facebook.com/Drogcast Live.
Or Drogcast Live until we
Thanks,
can figure.
Facebook.
Yeah, thanks Facebook. But we're still Content Pending on Twitter. We're contentpending.com, DOTCOM, all spelled out one word on Instagram, because for some reason you can get anything you want on Twitter, but on Instagram, everyone steals our ideas.
Well, at Content Pending on Instagram is like a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Cleveland.
yeah. Our own Bridget was like, "Is that you?" It's like, no. You have to spell the .com. It's very important. Questions at contentpending.com. You can ask questions through email if you like to use email, or you can 802-359-7468, 802-359-SHOT. It's a real phone number. You can call or text that number, and we will respond to any of the problems you've had with the show so far, or if you have any requests on what you would like to see in further episodes. We'll try to put up all the links to the things that we talked about on the website and newsletter as soon as the thing happens. I'm not sure if Chris is working on his own thing right now, but eventually we'll have the newsletter back in some way. Look at the tertiary information that we don't get a chance to talk about. And what else? We're always at Don's Depot on Saturdays. If you're ever in a situation where you'd want to come and see the studio, it's in the patio. We can come hang out and have some drinks and maybe some cigarettes or whatever. And we can talk about Martin Shkreli or the Oscars or whatever you like. That's what we're here for. But please go out and enjoy and like and do everything on iTunes and Google Play and Stitcher and everything, and tell us what you think, or just enjoy it and share it with a friend. But until then, thank you, Dylan, for helping me run the show.
Hell yeah.
And I'm still Travis, and I love you so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Content pending.